It's the sound of bright and beautiful music. This is KIXI, Seattle. CBS News. The U.S. Senate is working this weekend. Friday night, it approved a measure on unemployment tied to a tax credit bill. This is Doug Poling reporting on the CBS Radio Network. Details on the Senate action from Mariah McLaughlin in Washington.
The Senate has passed a bill which would extend unemployment benefits for an additional 13 weeks. Attached to the measure is an amendment which would affect the tax credit on new home purchases. That original measure, passed by the House and Senate, said that the credit would apply only to homes on which construction had started by March 26th. The new measure changes that date to June 19th, thus allowing a larger number of new home purchasers to benefit from the tax credit. The measure must now go to a conference with the already House-passed unemployment compensation bill, which contains no references to the tax credit for new home purchasers. The vote came after the Senate interrupted its seemingly unending debate on the New Hampshire election controversy. But the Senate will take that matter up again in an unusual Saturday session. Mariah McLaughlin, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The House passed and sent to President Ford a bill to continue financing about 310,000 public service jobs. It's a $1.6 billion measure. Without the approval of the funds, the jobs will expire June 30th. House Democrats announced Friday a major effort will be made to override President Ford's veto of a housing bill. Speaker Carl Albert concedes it will be a hard fight. The bill includes incentive payments to home buyers, interest-producing federal subsidies, and protection against foreclosure. More news in a moment.
If you ever use a hemorrhoid preparation, you should know this. Vaseline Brands has news. It's Hemorrhoid ointment. Hemorrhoid works fast, helps protect with a proven medical ingredient for soothing occlusion. And Hemorrhoid gives you only this key ingredient, so it gives you more than the leading preparation. Now, at your first sign of pain, burning, and itching, turn to soothing Hemorrhoid. Hemorrhoid from Vaseline Brands. Use only as directed.
Hi, everybody. Phil Rizzuto here with a few words for sport fans everywhere. Nightly, Monday through Friday, I bring you Phil Rizzuto on sports over most of these stations. I wrap up the daily events with an action review that includes interviews with players, coaches, and managers, and always give you a preview of what's to come. I also have comments on all phases of the sports world that I know will interest you. Hope you'll listen right here Monday through Friday nights for Phil Rizzuto on sports on most of these CBS Radio Network stations.
President Ford's official organization to go after the Republican presidential nomination is getting underway. Papers were filed Friday for authorization for campaign fundraising and spending. Dean Birch, serving as temporary chairman of the President Ford Committee, says he does not think his man will have much trouble getting the nomination.
There are other potential candidates. I'm sure you're all aware of them. Governor Reagan has expressed some interest in becoming a candidate. At this time, I would assume he is the most logical or perhaps credible candidate in the Republican Party, with the exception of the president. I'm inclined to think that the president's strength these past few weeks, and as it will develop in the next weeks, politically as well as from a general public point of view, would at least lead any challenger to reconsider.
Birch also said he does not anticipate too much trouble raising campaign funds for the president. Speculation about the murder of reputed Chicago underworld kingpin Sam Giancana is running rampant. The 65-year-old Giancana was shot several times in the head in his Oak Park, Illinois home. Some police sources say they doubt it was a mob rubout. Others say it might have been, claiming Giancana had fallen into disfavor in underworld circles. There are reports he might have been killed to keep him from talking to a grand jury. The CIA has been mentioned because of an alleged plot involving the spy agency and Giancana to kill Cuba's Fidel Castro. Senator Frank Church, who heads the Senate committee which is probing the Central Intelligence Agency, says protection of committee witnesses may be necessary. Now this.
Way back in 1876, it was brewed and aged to deliver a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability found in no other beer at any price. I'm talking about Budweiser. And nothing's changed. Bud is still brewed with pride to be the king of beers. And every Beechwood-aged taste of Budweiser says so loud and clear. Hear it talking? Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Isn't my car ready yet?
Look, lady, there's a tune-up and 2 flat tires ahead of you.
But my mother's plane is landing in an hour.
Tomorrow morning's the best we can do.
Tomorrow morning? What's my mother going to do?
Simple nervous tension. Simple nervous tension. Now turn it down with Quiet World tablets. The calmative with pain relievers and 2 gentle relaxants for hours of relief. Take only as directed. Quiet World tablets ease the aches and that tense feeling to help turn down occasional simple nervous tension.
An American girl and her Italian boyfriend spent 5 days in jail near Rome after they wandered onto a top-secret NATO base. 21-year-old Patricia Circle of Springfield, Massachusetts, and her boyfriend had walked into a woods in the hills south of Rome looking for seclusion. They set off an alarm system that brought barking dogs, police, and secret agents. The couple was jailed for 5 days. They appeared Friday before a Rome magistrate who decided they had no intention of spying on the NATO base. This is Doug Poling, CBS News.